Hello everyone, it is Sunday, February 10th, 2019. Of course, on my last video, I stated I would do a video on Sunday showing some of the covers and some of the books I'm looking forward to purchasing for this upcoming Wednesday. I've gotten a lot of requests for this, so I finally have an opportunity to do this. Again, I apologize in advance for not having pictures of the books, but like I stated before, I'm not really savvy when it comes to cutting and pasting videos, so I'll just kind of tell you the books that I'm looking forward to. First one is going to be Kick-Ass number 12. It is a D cover. There's multiple covers on this book. It's a D cover by John Romita Jr. Really cool looking cover. Shows the female lead character from behind walking, and she's got a couple of weapons in her hand with some heads hanging off of them. I thought that was really cool. Of course, that falls under the horror genre that I like, and this is strictly a cover purchase for me. Second book, I gotta look down at my notes here. Who Laughs number 3, the variant B cover. Really cool cover of the Who Laughs character. When you see it, it's already sold out at several places online already, and I know that the shops are going to probably get these walking out the door pretty fast. So if you have the opportunity to reserve a couple of those, you might want to do that earlier in advance. Wonder Woman B cover, of course. DC's been coming out with some really good B covers. Wonder Woman this week is my choice for probably one of the top covers of the week. But I think it's going to be the Who Laughs cover, which is going to take that. Also from DC this week, Detective 998 B cover, Flash 64 B cover, Hawkman number 9, and Red Hood number 51. Really nice B covers from DC. And then, of course, one of my favorite books that I've talked about a lot, which is Scooby Apocalypse number 34. They have a really nice B cover on that as well. What else we have coming up here? There are 3 covers, a brand new storyline, Avengers No Road Home number 1. I enjoy the B cover on this that I've seen. There are 3 total different covers that I was able to find online for me looking at these covers prior to me putting the orders in. So the B cover is what I like on that. Immortal Hulk number 2, the second printing, of course. The Immortal Hulk number 2 was a book that just flew off the shelves. It's a big story. It's a great storyline, and this is a second print, so I'm going to pick up a couple of the second prints just to kind of put those away. Betty Page, I usually just like the photo covers of the Betty Page, but this is a Betty Page number 2 B cover, excuse me, it's the A cover, and it's kind of a Red Riding Hood homage, of course. I've told you I like the Fatal Fantasy things that Avatar has been putting out, and Cross puts out with that, and this is kind of in that direction without the violence. So the Betty Page number 2, the A cover, I'm going to pick up one of those. From Aftershock Comics, a storyline that I've enjoyed. The book is kind of slow to come out, but it is Lollipop Kids number 3. It's really good. Again, this another one of these small press books from these companies, and they've been hitting some pretty big home runs lately with some of the storylines. I've enjoyed the storyline for Lollipop Kids. I am looking forward to number 3. From Boundless, I usually don't say a lot of Boundless books, but the Boundless Zero books, of course, they're more adult themed. They have a new storyline coming out this week. It's what is it? Pandora Shotgun Mary, the Zero cover. It's a new storyline that's coming out, and this is the Zero covers. The Zero covers hold a really good aftermarket value, so if you're interested in something of an investment type book, look for more of the adult theme Pandora Zero covers that are coming out. You can usually double, triple your money in a very short time on those because, again, a lot of shops don't carry it because of the theme. Some of the shops that do, if you're able to find those Zero covers on the adult themed, side of the line, go ahead and pick a couple of those up. And then the last one I'm going to talk about today is Spider-Gwen Ghost Spider number 5, the Skulls variant. This was something that they started last week or maybe the week before. Really nice looking cover. This again is another cover purchase type book for me, and so I'm going to jump all over that and I'm going to buy that. So those are the books that I'm kind of looking forward to this week. Again, I apologize for not having the pictures, but hopefully if you're watching the video, you may have found a book that I mentioned here that you might want to add to your list this week, and I will start doing these regularly on Sundays. So again, I'm going to show some vintage books just to, put a little extra oomph here on the video. I get a lot of requests for this. Again, I don't show personal collection. It's just a personal choice. I've had a lot of people ask. I just don't do that. I don't believe in doing that. So I pick up a lot of vintage stuff and I put it in boxes and Mylar it and bag and board it, or, Mylar it with some boards and then just throw it in a box. So I grabbed some stuff again. Again, I apologize if I've shown these books before, and we'll just kind of go from there. First book I'm going to show, Nick Cardy cover from 1971, Unexpected, number 130. This is kind of a mid-grade book here. Again, I like Nick Cardy. I've always liked Nick Cardy. I'm sorry, it's daytime today and the glare is really, really bad. Let me try something here. Here, maybe that'll help out a little bit. Probably not, but there's the Nick Cardy cover for Unexpected 130. I think Nick Cardy is a very regarded artist that came out here. A lot of stuff in the 70s, a lot of really, really cool covers. Next book I'm going to show, Invaders, King Size Annual, number 1. We talked about this in past videos. This is an important book because a lot of people buy these things. Again, there's a lot of World War II imagery on this, a lot of the swastikas, the good guys fighting the Germans and the Japanese in these books. So I really like this book right here. Next up, this is a Khazar number 1. This is a super high grade book right here. This is a near mint book. I was able to pick this up. I was very happy to grab this book. Again, kind of an unappreciated storyline right here, but a really nice book. And these books right here, especially the 1 and 2, are kind of really hard to find in a really high grade condition. This is a super high grade, and this is a Buscema cover, so it's got a couple of things going for it. It's a number 1, and it's a John Buscema cover. Charlton Press, of course, we talked about Charlton Press and how they have a lot of, issues with the poor paper quality that they use. So finding these in any type of a mid-grade condition is a score. This is a Ghosts of Dr. Graves, The Many Ghosts of Dr. Graves, number 2 from 1967. And this is a mid-grade book right here. I graded this a fine. Other places would probably grade it a lot higher. Just really, really cool. And again, a lot of these storylines from Charlton have some really nice looking covers, and there's some really cool stories in there. So if you like that type of stuff, jump on it and see if you can find something. Cover a lot of people have seen. I think I've shown this once before, but I just like this. John Romita cover, 1968. This is I graded this a fine plus. Again, other places would probably grade it a lot higher, probably in the 7.5 range. But again, we've talked about in my last video or the video before the last video about trying to be honest with your grades. Now, one of those things is when I look at a book and I grade it, you can sit there and say, I can squeeze an extra grade, a half a grade or a grade out of it. But are you really doing yourself justice? And I'm not talking about the industry itself. I'm talking about you as a collector. What does it say about you as a person if you're going to sit there and just overgrade your book? So I gave this a 6.5. This is Amazing Spider-Man 67, John Romita cover. Really nice looking cover right there. There's that. I got my camera set up differently, so I'm kind of looking here, but the camera is actually here, so I apologize for that. I know someone's going to probably put a comment on that. House of Mystery. This is a Bernie Wrightson cover, and he did the artwork inside. Now, I love Bernie Wrightson. There's no mistaking about that. And this is just a typical Bernie Wrightson cover right here. Really, really nice for me. There's that, Bernie Wrightson. Wonder Woman 184. This is from 1969. This is a fine, very fine. I always like this cover because, it's the old saying about, the Spartans, come home on your shield or carrying it. Well, she's coming home on her shield, so it didn't end real well for her. But of course, like everything else, they just, bring them back. And one of the newer additions to the, boxes. Again, a lot of these things I show are just things that are going to be ultimately put back into an inventory system. So this is the Avengers number 31. This is a fine minus, a 5.5. There were, a little bit issues with the spine and things like that. So again, whenever you can find something lower grade, again, we've talked about this. Again, that's 1966 Avengers 31. So again, we've talked about the things that you can do on that. Now, the most important thing to remember is that when you are dealing with older books like this, they're getting harder and harder to find. So if you find something like we've stated in a mid-grade, and I'm talking 5.0 to 7.0 and higher, you should grab all over that, because pretty soon the only things that are going to be available at a reasonable price are going to be the 4.0, 4.5 stuff, because anything else now that is sort of a mid-high grade is really going for a premium price. And that's the industry. When things start to dry up and become more scarce, you get a bigger profit margin for that. So that is the nature of the beast. So do yourself a favor. If you have the opportunity for traveling or places in your local town, instead of buying some of these, more recent expensive books, put 20 bucks aside. And if you're able to do that, and buy a couple of older books, or buy an older book I'm trying just to pick up a couple of things here and there. I am going to be going on a buying trip in the next couple of months through Southern California when I go see my mom down in San Diego. I always hit stops and I always spend some money, so I'm going to have a lot of stuff to show in the upcoming weeks, and I'll do a better job of separating some of the more vintage books to have a more random selection of stuff, and I'll also start showing some Bronze Age stuff. There's a lot of Bronze Age stuff out there that looks really, really good. So that's what we have for the video today. I hope you like the vintage books. I hope you maybe found something on this video that you might want to purchase this Wednesday. Again, the Batman Who Laughs cover, the B cover, is going to be really, really big. And my personal choice this week is because it's Bettie Page #1, who I love, and then of course it is a fantasy homage as it relates to the Red Riding Hood character. So that's what we have. So I hope you liked the video, but as always, if you didn't, nothing I can do for you. Have a great day, and I will see you later this week with a new comic book video.